Hello everyone, my name is Bhumika and my USN is 2SD22EC016 and this is my CTA project assignment. So let's begin with the topic. In this video I am going to demonstrate how to use the RS-232 communication demonstrator program that has been given to me, that you can download from Econ Stronga. So you are going to download RS-232D Windows Z and you will unzip it, bring it to the desktop. Once you have it, take a look inside. You'll have three files inside that zip file, and what we are going to do is we have a client, we have an interface, and we have implementation. Now the client is meant to testify or show how the interface actually works. One of our jobs is this week is going actually go through the program through the Windows communication API and basically explain each line of the code. Now I read some of the comments, but your job is going to understand how this is going to work. So first thing we need to go is take these files and import them into a solution. So open up a Visual Studio. We'll use Visual Studio Code. So create a project, create a new project. I'm going to create a console application and hit next. This is going to be called it's going to inside we are going to desktop to RS-23 Windows and select this folder. Okay, so this program is going to show, we are going to show that we can both send and receive data between two virtual ports. You can also use your real ports. Like I said before, if you connect the USB to RS-232 adapter or two USB ports on your machine, then you can connect to your ports together, two RS-232 connectors together using a crossover cable. Then you will be able to communicate between the transmitter and receiver pin of the two ports. Anyway, let's keep going. So we have our project and we have Windows. Okay, so let's click the create. As a solution is created, we going to do what we are going to basically do is always we have to see here that we have created this new folder. Now we don't need this RS-232 CPP is the same name as a folder. So we just need to know where to put it, so we can take these, just copy them and take this folder, and we don't need this RS-232 this. If you look here, this is just hello world. Okay, so if you go here, I'm going to remove this, actually going to delete it from the folder as well. So remove it from the solution, and what I do is to add an existing item. I need to add the interface for the RS-232 communication module. So click add, and then we are going to add the client and implementation. So existing item, I need the client, which is, and we have the implementation for the communications module, and click add. So now we have the our interface is just, it's just very basic. It's just function prototypes that we are going to use. Okay, so here some sub functions that we return to support, they support these functions. We'll discuss this shortly, but we have our client, and here is our implementation. Actually what I should do is going in, and you should probably do the same and copy this control C, go to here, and what you want to do is just put it right over here, RS-232, and this is CPP. Okay, this means this implementation, and then click save all. You always want to have these headers anyway. These are the implementation functions. uh, Windows Communication API. So we have to see this create. We have to create files come which is come from the window. Okay, so this provides us the functions so for serial communications in Windows, and so we are calling a lot of these functions. So before these are a wrap of here setcom state set m sets that all are part of the API, and our job is going to be research and explain all these things. I put a lot of comments here to help you a little bit. This is where we are here. So let's go here, and we have save all. Let's take look. Let's take a look what we have done. We have downloaded everything. First we want to do, I want to just show exactly what's happening here. So the administrator program does two things. Okay, it sets up basically two virtual ports, uh, communication 6 and CCOM 7. These are the two communication ports we set up as virtual, sorry, not serial virtual ports using CCOM. If you are going to use real ports, we have to go into the device manager, and you need to determine what those numbers are. If you have certain comports, you have to determine exactly which number they are now. If they are outside of a certain range, if they are greater than 10, you have to choose them their format. So there's a certain format to follow in order for this naming convention. Okay, so just to show you, if the number exceeds 10, if you want to do, I'll show here. There's formatting here I want to follow. If you go into the RS-232 com dot cpp, you go and take a look down there. There's a comment in here that right to say create p file. Again, your job is going to be look at this API. So if the communication number is larger than n9, so we are here at com6 com7, then what you need to do is formatting. If I want to come to 10, then what I have to do is use this format instead of for the numbers. So just make sure that if you are trying to use something com code that's greater than n, you have to follow different format. All right, so again, this client, what it's doing is it's setting up and sending messages from a transmitter to receiver. So we have two cases here. CCOM 7 and 6 are virtual ports, and what I am doing is I am setting up, so I have to handle that points to the two, and then one I'm going to use for transmit, and then other one I'm going to use for to receive. I have these are the end namings, and this is a question is to handle, or basically a pointer to specify port. Basically the physical ports are treated like files, the same way we are to do file IO. That's how we are going to do it. um, Through port, it's like reading and writing to a file. Okay, so I have to communication rate. So this is 9600 baud rate, and this is how many bits per frame is timeout. And you need to see this will change how you change your bit rate from for your communications, but you have your setup, you have to set up this all. Anyway, what does this client do is the first thing it does, it set up both the sides of the communication link. So this link in this copper I have written for you, you have to do it again, figure out what it does, and initialize the ports and associates handle. So HC receiver, it's declared here, so we are passing a reference. We do pass by reference for this. All these things are going to set. So we initialize the port and associate this particular name. COM7 with this handle. We associate this name COM6 HC transmitter handle. Set the communication rate. They have to be in the same order to communicate. So I have initialization. I have put half a second of the sleep in between. You don't really need to put that, but I just put it anyway, because when it prints it looks a little bit nicer and will show what I mean. And there we have a transmit side. This is message going to be returned to your transmit buffer. It's going to be the output to the particular port, and then it's going to be written. Well, it's going to output in the virtual wire, and then it's going to be received by the receiving SES buffer. It's going to be received, and it and returns to this particular buffer the message in the buffer with the space for a message. This buffer what we are going to write to the outputs, and this is the input buffer that's read at the receive port, and when you are done after the set after when we are done up with the connection, we can receive at two different ports, and from the both side. If I go here, I'm just going to give a brief overview, but here we need to study these and the functions. So these are the wrappers. Okay, so in the ports it's a wrapper, and it's just basically calls all the sub functions that set up the function setups. So create port right here, it basically uses the create file function to create a handle. If there's a problem, it will tell you that create port file. First port, just purchase the port once it's in case there's any you have to create the parameter things like the communication rate, how many bits per frame, and timeouts. Any timeouts you can study actually the timeout in the sessions in the set column, set component. This is where we are going to have an explanation, but you have to see there's a structure, DCB in the Windows device control block. It's a structure, and it has strings like rate by how many bits per frame, if you are using parity, etc. And this is the part of your study, this particular function and this particular thing. I want to go do research, and this and that here. These are the parameters, these are the timeouts. Okay, so basically this is something we are going to have to explain. I kind of gave you some pointers, but I want to explain it on words. So we are going to go through here and just explain this to do one of your job. I'll save that this file, and then I'm going to demonstrate that this works. Okay, so we are going to we have input and output, or transmitter or receiver. So you'll have to go, and I'm going to push play. Might go different screen here. Let me okay. What exactly happened? We had the communication port on the transmit side was open, and the communication port of on the receiving side was open, and then we start transmitting, and this tells us the transmission was successful. So writing to transmit code was successful, and then we also successfully read the data from the receiving port, 16 bytes. So 16 bytes and 16 bytes received, and then we look at the received buffer to see what it has received the message. So that's basically what it does. Now